Hello and welcome to another bit of content tourism courtesy of Only Single Player. Today we're going to take a look at Minit, which is a nice little top-down adventure game. With an interesting hook, you die every 60 seconds and then have to try again. So we're just going to take a look around. We can't get very much further without this sword, so... And now we have a 60-second timer. So my guess is we now have to find out why we're cursed, what we're doing, and how to break free of the curse. So every time you die, certain bits of progress you make are kept. So these things will grow back, but if we find a new power-up, if we extend our life bar, if we find new equipment, that will stay. If we unlock certain doors, that will also stay. So every single time you've got 1 minute to make as much progress as possible, and then you eventually have to overcome the final challenge of the game. It's a nice idea, although when you don't know where to go, it gets pretty frustrating pretty quickly. I know what I'm doing for the most part of well, the first half of the game, I guess. Later on, though, I do get lost, and I'm just running around in circles. That guy wanted me to kill the crab, so I already knew to do that. And I'm coming up on my first time limit now. And I can't go into the darkness, so I need to find a lamp. So that's our first order of business. So I've got the coffee now, and that allows me to push crates around. As you might imagine. Here we go. So there's a key in here. We'll go and see what that unlocks. Now that we've got that key... Oh, to the lighthouse. Useful. Now that we've got that key, if we do die, and you can reset by pressing B, we actually keep the key in our inventory, so we can go straight back to the lighthouse now without having to worry about dying halfway up the ladder, which has happened before. I have to admit, I like the aesthetic here. It's got a very nice style. There's a kind of... Well, obviously it's going for the old original Game Boy screen, but there's, especially with the music, there's a very slight Undertale vibe to the whole thing. Which is quite nice. So now we have a flashlight. So I'll tell you what, we'll go somewhere else because I know where we're going. I've played this game for about an hour, so I've seen a lot of death screens. Oh, there's a crate up there. Let's see what's up here. And we're going to do 4 or 5 of these runs so you can get a feel for the game. Okay, so I can't progress here without performing a ranged attack, so I need to go and find a way of making a ranged attack, so I'll come back later. Now, I've only got 24 seconds. Let's see if I can make it in that time. Oh, there's a bull there. He doesn't look happy to see me. 10-9. Need to find something useful quickly. 3, 2... What? Literally on the count of 1. As you find new campsites and homes, you actually get new spawn points, so now we don't have to worry about sprinting all the way here in 1 minute. So we can take a look around this new location. So this area is, as it says, an endless desert. You can get lost here pretty easily, but I happen to know that if we go far enough in one direction, we will encounter something... I've never seen this before, actually. Okay, that's really useful to know. Never seen that before in my life. That's a new discovery for me. Last time when I went far enough north, I found an enemy that... Here we go. Oh, come on. I'm not going to be able to do it quickly enough. There we go. Sword thrower. So now I can go back to that place with the archers and I can take them down. So you can make progress pretty quickly. I mean, on your first time through, there's a lot more trial and error, which is fun at first. I think this game... Oops. certainly does err on the side of trial and error, especially in its later phases when things are much better hidden. And there's a fair amount of backtracking to different places. You know, you'll burn an entire run just getting from A to B and then killing yourself and starting again so that you don't run out of time partway through. So that there are things to take account of. But for the most part, it's actually a pretty fun, charming little game. And it does teach you to be flippant with your own life as well. Maybe accidentally catching yourself on a corner and then immediately committing suicide because you could do it a second or so faster. There we go. Okay, we've got a camera. A camera has certain uses later on, but for the most part, it is not very useful. But now that we have that unlocked, we'll go back to our sword. So, I've forgotten where I'm going now, so I just need to take a look around and see what I find, I guess. Which is in the true spirit of the game. And I've been here already. This is what I'm talking about. Taking a slight unintended detour and then immediately killing yourself. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. This little bush up here holds the key to our progress. This is what I mean about getting lost sometimes. A watering can is actually extremely useful. It can give you a heart and it can also give you other ways to interact with people by soaking them. Some people respond favourably to you dunking your watering can on them. Okay, so now we've got our watering can. We can use it to do all kinds of things, like we can put out fires. And there's a secret dungeon which makes use of that in a second. You can pour water on people, which sometimes helps out, oddly enough. That's another coin. I think there are 17 coins. You need 7 to buy a pair of sprinting shoes, which is quite, which can be quite useful. Oops. Actually, you know what? Let's throw our lives away again, and we'll go down and find another use for our watering can. So it's, yeah, the first time around when you're discovering all of this, it's quite fun, and you know, there's a nice personality to it all. It can just be a little bit too obtuse. Okay, so now that we've saved this guy, we've got an item coming to us in this little hollow here. And that allows us to cut down trees, which is very useful. It allows us to make some progress. So that's a fair overview of this game. I think it's these little quick shots speedruns to try and get as far as you can, and each time you chip away at the problem a little bit more. It's fun. That makes it sound very negative. Now, I do enjoy this game. I just, in some places, like I said before, it can just be a little bit too obtuse, and because you don't have much time to explore every time, you can find yourself running around and not getting very far. That can be frustrating, but I suppose that's to be expected with this kind of design. So, yeah, I'd say my overall opinion of this is fairly positive. I've certainly enjoyed playing it. I've put an hour into it, which is about 90-odd lifetimes in this game's terms. So yeah, that's a fairly decent overview of the game Minit. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you like it, and if you want to follow more content from Only Single Player, by all means follow the channel, follow on Facebook, Twitter, all that social media stuff. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.